Okay, we are live. Hi, everybody. Good evening. It's Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, and you are on the WOTT, the Women of Top Team Hangout. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We are glad to have you here. A lot of exciting things going on with INFINii. I know I'm super excited about it. I know all of us are. If you heard us last week, you know that we are really excited about all of the tools being rolled out, all of the new different digital products being rolled out, the marketplace. And if some of this stuff is over your head, don't worry. As you can always go back and look at some of the replays. Always feel free to send messages to us or whatever. If you are in here tonight, we're going to actually be talking about a cool topic. I've come across many people who get on my list and they ask me questions and they're really hesitant and they're really nervous about drop shipping. They are not sure if they can handle it. There's some things that they're afraid of and why they kind of drag their feet and they maybe not want to do it. And I really wanted to address some of those things because honestly, guys, every single one of us on here had those same questions and those same issues and things that, we were hesitant or worried about. I mean, 99% of people do. So I wanted to address those things tonight. I'm going to also, as the ladies are talking, I'm going to be going over to the our Hangout page, which has got a comment section below this video if you're watching it from the page. And if you have any things that worry you about drop shipping or anything like that, you can type it in the comment section. I'll do my best to monitor that. And if I see something that we haven't covered, then I will go ahead and we'll bring it up in the Hangout for you guys so that we can address that for you. So again, thanks for being here. And we're going to go ahead and start off and we're going to talk about the things that scare us about did scare us about drop shipping, as it should say, because when you come into INFINii, that's the main business model that we teach you first. That's the easiest business model to learn. That's definitely the lowest risk business model, but there are some things about it that can be potentially scary. So we wanted to just address those right off the bat, tell you our experiences with it, and see if we can go ahead and allay those fears and put those objections to rest as to why you would maybe think you couldn't do it, because you really can. So I am super excited. I'm going to go over and monitor the comment section now, but I'm going to bring out Letitia Merlin. I'm super excited to have her back. She was out the last couple of weeks. She's been super busy, but I love having her on. And she actually just had an issue the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great one to bring out on the Hangout, because it was one of my fears when I got involved. But I'm going to let her talk first about some of the things that she was nervous or scared about when she first got involved with drop shipping. I'm going to let her share a little bit, and I'm going to head on over to the comments page to monitor that while she's talking for you. So come on out, Letitia.
Hi. Okay, so I agree. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So yeah, tonight's topic is a great one because I think we all have fears and misconceptions and things that we worry about. And I know when I first got involved, one of the things I was worried about was just having to deal with rude or nasty or impatient customers. Excuse me, one second. I had worked retail when I was younger, so I know how nasty they can get. Cool. Excuse me, I had ice cream just a minute ago, and now I've got a tickle in my throat. But anyway, so I really was not looking forward to doing the drop shipping on any of the platforms at first because I just did not want to go back to that retail of nasty customers. But you know what? You really don't get that many. I mean, you do get a few here and there, but it's not the same as when you're in a store and they're actually yelling at you, because here they're just sending you messages. And as Julie was talking about, I had an incident the other day, which was one of my big nightmares, was I had a customer who bought a product immediately, and he, like, an hour later wanted the tracking number. He's like, I paid for this, and you said you're shipping it and processing it, so that means you have to have something for me. And I'm like, yes, but it's not right away. Yes, I've already dealt with this, and it's in the process, but it takes time. And, of course, it's a Friday evening. It had to have been like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. So I mean, we all know I'm not getting a tracking number before Monday or even Tuesday from, I think it was Amazon. And then to make things worse is that when it finally did get processed, Amazon didn't have tracking for me. Like, Amazon's usually the greatest about tracking numbers, and this particular product, for some reason, it would not load, it would not load, and I'm like, where is this tracking number? The guy is like, you do bad business, you're lying to me, you didn't really ship it, and I know it's shipped, I know he's going to receive it in a couple days, but I don't have the proof for him. And he just was such a pain. He just kept messaging me like every day, every couple hours, and I had even contacted Amazon, and Amazon had, we apologize, but we went through some other process than they normally do, which happens once in a while, and they didn't have a tracking number to give me. So I couldn't help him in that. And then, of course, they finally get a tracking number available the morning that it's going to arrive at his place. So he's already told me that he's reporting me to eBay for being a bad seller. He's already told me that he's giving me negative feedback and that he's never buying from me again, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, great. Like, I don't have any Joseph and I have no negative feedback yet. So I really this bothered me. I don't like negative feedback. I don't like the thought of negative feedback. But his feedback never came. And then this morning I'm up early. I have no sleep, and I'm so stressed out over some personal stuff that's going on, and we had so much rushing around to do this morning, and then I get home and I go to put on some tracking numbers for some items that had sold that were ready to be put on, and I notice I have a new positive feedback, and I'm excited because we're still building up our number. Our number is still pretty low, so it's obvious when we get a new one. And I click on it, and it's the guy. It's the guy that had given me such a problem last week and was such a pain and was going to give me negative feedback. Now he gives me, not only did he give me a positive feedback, but he gave me positive feedback for being a great seller, for being fast on my shipping, and just being overall a good pleasure to do with. And I'm like, really? You called me names, you threatened me, and then you just said all these great things about me in your feedback. So I was like, it was just one of those things. You just have to laugh it off. And so, I mean, really, those bad customers, they're not necessarily going to be bad. You never know what a customer's going to do until they do it. And you just have to remind yourself that customer service is what you have to give. And I did. I was always polite. I was always professional, and I apologized for the inconvenience of what was going on. I try to be reassuring. And in the end, I got a positive feedback, and that's really the best I could ask for. More than what I could have asked for. I was just hoping he'd forget to do the feedback altogether at that point. So the fact that he gave me a positive was really good. And once again, most of my customers I don't even have to deal with. Most of them, they buy the item, and that's it. There's no communication. They don't want to bother me, and once in a while when there is a problem or there's a question, most of them are pretty understanding that, you're not sitting on top of your eBay account. It's not like they've got in the store and there's someone right there. A lot of them know that they're going to send you a question, and it's going to be, a little bit time later even a day later before you answer back to them. I always try to answer as soon as I get the notification because I have it on my phone too, but that doesn't always happen either, because if I'm in the store, my phone may not go off till later, or if I'm at my job, which I thankfully only have to do once a week, I turn all the notifications off because I need to be there for my clients. So, it takes time sometimes to get back to them, and most of them are very, very good about that. I'm trying to think what else to talk about.
That's okay. I was just looking at the page and monitoring, and I would say like that, dealing with customers was kind of scary. That was a thing that worried me too. But like you said, what was really helpful for me, I mean, that's when it's really, I'm grateful to be behind the computer.
Yes.
Because it's a lot less pressure. I mean, still, like, you get bummed when somebody's like rare and coming after you for stuff that's not your fault, but we also have some really great scripts that we can do and use, and a lot of things that happen are out of our control, and we can utilize these scripts to relay that to the customer, so that they have empathy for us, and that they end up a lot of times feeling bad for us, because we are, a lot of us are, pretty much small sellers. Even though we can make some really great income, we are smaller sellers, and we can't, necessarily compete on mass and on scale with like large retailers. And we sometimes work that into the verbiage and we have scripts that different team members will help you out with that. And that's one thing I love about the top team. I know when people have had different questions about customers maybe coming after them or being unhappy, or and they just want to make sure that they are doing the right thing. A lot of people jump in and will say, this is how I responded to my customers. It works really well. Here's a script that I use. So. The team the group has been really helpful for that. I mean, for me, and I've talked to others too.
Yes, Top Team has been amazing for that. I have personally used a couple of the scripts, especially when an item is out of stock, when I didn't realize it was too. And thankfully now with our new INFINii tracker, that's not a problem as much. But yes, the Top Team, everybody is helpful, and I love it. And I love that we do have the file section with the scripts that we can go to in times of need, and I definitely have used them, and I probably should add to it myself since I haven't yet. But Top Team has definitely always been helpful. I love seeing everybody posting questions and answering them with each other on there.
Yeah, and I would venture to guess too, with respect to one of the things that could worry me or scare me was I'd be worried about problem orders. What is 30% of the orders people orders? Oh my gosh, that's the opinion, but the reality is that's just not the case. Such a small percentage of orders that come through are problem orders. Such a small percentage. I mean, if I would have to take a guess, I would maybe say like 5%. I don't know what you guys think. Most orders are not problem orders. Most orders go off without a hitch. Most of the time there really isn't a problem. So yeah, I mean, I was really worried about that because I didn't want to be up to my eyeballs in problems all day, right? Nobody wants that. Just being honest, that was a big worry card for me. I was like scared. I'm like, ugh. Is it going to suck the life out of me dealing with problems all day? But it's not like that at all. It really isn't. Awesome stuff. Well, I'm going to stop yapping now and go ahead and bring Georgia out. She's a seasoned seller, but I'm sure maybe some things in the beginning were like maybe making her a little nervous as to whether or not she, wow, I'm not sure about this. I don't know if I like that. And actually, Georgia, I've never heard of anything that scared you or maybe made you nervous about drop shipping, but I would love to hear it because I don't think I've ever heard you say anything except for that you love drop shipping.
Thank you, Julie. And believe it or not, even though I've been at this a little while, it hasn't even been 2 years yet, but the thing that makes me pause is the feedback. Like right now, I'm at 506 feedback, still with 100%. And I get excellent feedback from my customers, but every time my number goes up, like I went from 501 to 506. And every time I go to click on it to see what the feedback actually is, it's like I hold my breath. It's like, oh my God, what are they going to say? And the first thing I look for is that 100% before I even read the feedback to make sure that none of it's brought my score down. But one of the things in the beginning, just like with Letitia, is my question was, okay, this is supposed to work. I know it does. I've made my first couple of sales, but what happens when something goes wrong? Because in anything, there's something that's going to go wrong eventually, sometimes. And I've been able to resolve the problems with the customer service representatives with all the sources that I use. I hadn't really run into anything where somebody stonewalled me or hadn't been able to work it out. They're actually very helpful. They want you to be as successful too because you're selling their products. I remember one particular item that I thought that this lady was going to get so frustrated because I'm a calm person, but I ordered her something that cost almost $300, and when she received it, it was broken, and it was a mirrored object, and I thought, okay. In fact, it was a chest. I don't sell it anymore. It was a mirrored chest, a beautiful piece. It was almost $300. And I ordered it for her, and when she got it, the bottom panel was broken. So she let me know that it was broken. I contacted the source where I got it from. Fortunately, this particular supplier, they didn't want it back. They said, keep it, donate it, sell it, whatever. We'll send you another one. We don't want you to send that one back. I guess it was going to cost them more to ship it back to them than it would be to just write it off. So I said, okay, so we ordered her a second chest. Okay, it shipped pretty quickly. She got it like in 4 or 5 days. She got that one, and that one was broken. The exact same spot at the bottom of the chest. The mirror was cracked. So I asked the lady, I said, do you want a full refund? They don't want the chest back. Now she has 2 chests in her house that are broken, okay? So she said, no, let's try it again. I said, okay, we'll try it again. So I ordered a third chest. It was broken, okay? I could not believe that all 3 of these chests were broken in the exact same spot. It was like they dropped it or something, and then just the jar of it cracked it at the bottom in all these spots. So anyway, long story short, this lady ends up with 3 chests that she can keep free of charge. Now this is over $600, actually almost $900 in merchandise that she has that she could keep. And the little piece of glass at the bottom was only like 2 inches wide, 2 inches high and about 26 inches long. So, I mean, she made out like a bandit, in my opinion. I guess she's these 3 chests. All she has to do is replace that bottom panel with something else. But this lady was so sweet through the whole process. I don't know how we got to talking about where she lived and just the conversation with her, but this lady invited me over to have coffee the next time I passed through her town. So, I mean, you just be real with people and you treat people the way you would want to be treated. And I empathize with them when I'm talking to them and let them know I understand their frustration. I would be frustrated too. This is what I'm going to do for you. In the interim, even if I don't know yet, I'll message them again and say, I'm still on top of it. I just wanted to keep you in the loop, let you know what's happening, and I'll let you know as soon as I find out. I have one I'm working with now that was also a concern of mine is, what if I get an order for something and the people need it by a certain date? Well, I had an order for 2 items that the lady wanted by the 4th of July. I never could get a tracking number. They wouldn't give me a tracking number, sort of like with Letitia. Well, finally, they uploaded the tracking number, and I let the man know, okay, well, it says that they delivered it, and FedEx left it on your front porch. I hate to read that they left it on the front porch, because you never know what's going to happen, okay? And I don't know why they started doing this anyway, but they do. So the man swears up and down he was home all day. He gets FedEx packages all the time. They always ring the bell, and nobody left anything on his porch. And I believe him in talking to him that they probably delivered it to the wrong house or whatever, okay? Well, in this particular case, the man wants this by the 4th of July. The 4th of July is Monday, people. Okay? Right now, this particular order is in dispute with FedEx and with the source. Okay? FedEx says they don't know what happened to the package, and the company, who's not the same supplier as the other one, says they have to wait until this dispute clears, which may take a week, before they can do anything about it. So I went ahead and ordered the man 2 different items, the 2 items that are missing from another source that's going to have it there by Friday. I was willing to do this because, first of all, it's not the customer's fault. It's not my fault either. But I wanted to satisfy this customer because he's been thanking me for keeping in touch with him. And so I'm shipping him these things. Sometimes I don't usually take a loss unless it's a couple of dollars. But I will take a risk on this particular one. It wasn't a lot of money. And I'm a hard nose with the supplier and with FedEx or whoever that I know I'm going to get my money back or a credit or something. So I went ahead and ordered this customer 2 more, and he's going to get them by Friday. And I bend over backwards to keep my customers happy. And even when I'm talking with eBay, they'll say stuff like, your customers love you. And I said, well, yeah, because I love my customers. So that's still a concern of mine, is when I see my feedback score, when it's changed, I click on it and I look for the 100% before I even read the feedback, because I want to know if it's changed in any way. But just when you have a business, customer service is paramount. You have to be a good customer service representative, and you have to treat your customers the way you want to be treated. Other than that, and like I said in the beginning, I was concerned that it may not go as smoothly as they were saying it's going to work, but it absolutely does. This is a great business. I love it. Any problems that come up, which are so minor, and they're so few and far between, that you really don't have to worry about it. What business do you know that don't have some problems, you know? But I love it, and I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to continue to promote it. And any of my people that are signing up, you have any questions? I have quite a few new people. I'm trying to get them to come on the Hangout. I'm trying to get them to ask me more questions. But right now, they're in the midst of the training, and in the beginning, the training can be so overwhelming. It's like you don't even know what questions to ask. So I'm staying in touch with them, and anybody who's listening that came on from a link that I sent you, if you have any questions that you want answered, you can ask them in the comments section. If you don't want to ask them in the comments section, feel free to send me a message, a private message on Facebook, and I will get back with everyone. And when I get back with my customers that send me messages because of a problem, just like Letitia, I get back with them right away. And they're always surprised. They'll say, thank you for answering me so quickly. You know, that they know that this is a real person, and they're going to deal with your problem. And just come correct, and you'll be okay.
Great stuff, Georgia. Thank you so much. I mean, I think, you know, what you said definitely resonates with me. I mean, the feedback is and why we worry about that so much is because, you know, getting negative feedbacks can potentially hurt your eBay account, and that's why we do worry about them. But problems really are very rare, and also problem orders are rare, and problem customers are really rare. We do all get them from time to time, but I'm telling you, and nobody wants to really deal with that per se, but they're so few and far between. And usually, and I find the same thing, if I respond, I mean, and I'll say, and I mean it, I'll say, I'm so sorry for your inconvenience. You know, and I'll ask them, you know, I'm going to do whatever I can to make this right for you. I want you to have a happy, you know, a good buying experience here with me. And I do mean that. And a lot of people, a lot of people just want to be heard. I mean, I know you guys will agree with that. A lot of people, they just want to know that you're listening to them. They don't necessarily. A lot of them are okay when you know it's still a problem, or there's a delay, or something happens and something's broken, and there's still a problem. But a lot of times, the way you treat them can still give you a positive review, but just because you took a little extra time and said, you know, I'm so sorry for your inconvenience. I hate that was late, or I hate that was broken, and I'm just going to do whatever I can to make it up to you and to get this out to you, and just you're making the whole thing is the experience, and making their experience a good one. And it's really not too hard to do that. It really isn't. It's just being kind to people. And again, the problems come up very rarely. So it's a lot easier to be kind when you're not dealing with problems all day, right? It is. I mean, the problems do come up, they do, but I mean, again, they're very few and very far between. And again, every business does have problems, but this does run really, really rather smoothly. I know one of the things that I used to really worry about was, oh, I gotta track all these products. I gotta keep track of all this stuff. I'm like, to me, I was like, it's drudgery. I didn't want to have to. I don't want to say do the work to track the sources and things like that. If things are out of stock, if prices change, I was like, oh my gosh, it's just like busy work. And I was like, gosh, I could just be doing so many other things. Well, You know, INFINii did just recently launch their tracking software, and it is working phenomenally well. It is working great. And that software, what it does is you can plug in your source where you're sourcing your product. You can plug that into our automatic tracking software, and that comes free with your membership. And it will track the price of where you're sourcing your product, because remember, you're selling the item high, then you're going to go over to your source and buy it low and ship it direct to the customer. So if the price changes, it'll update your eBay, the price on eBay. If it goes out of stock, it'll update your eBay. So that's awesome. It's such a huge time saver. It really gives you a lot more leverage. And I mean, it's just awesome. And guys, there's new functionality coming out shortly as well, which you can't find anywhere else. We are going to have auto ordering for Amazon, which is going to be great. So get this: somebody comes into your eBay store, buys a product. Our system will go ahead, you know, any price changes, they track that for you. But this customer goes ahead and buys this product from you. Our system will go in and it will auto order the product for you, ship it to your customer directly, and you didn't have to do anything. I mean, hello, it doesn't get any it doesn't get any easier than that. Now you even got more time, and that's coming. That's right around the corner to be launched again. That'll come with your membership. So good stuff coming, and good stuff already here. I just absolutely love that. So let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and bring out Christina here, because she has just been moving along, and I'm sure she had some things that ate her up, made her a little nervous before she started and got going. So Christina, let's hear from you and see what maybe got your stomach in a little knot before you got going.
Good evening, everyone. There was literally a handful of things that made me fearful of drop shipping. I was scared of talking on the phone to eBay and PayPal, the possibility of a package not arriving or going to the wrong address, a disgruntled customer, negative feedback, as well as a product not arriving on the estimated date. But fortunately, I was able to experience all of these problems early and be able to overcome these fears. I've dealt with literally 1 to 2 customers every month with petty problems, in my opinion, because they feel impatient. So they don't want to wait for the product to arrive. They don't want to wait for the tracking, or they do something wrong on their end. So I talk it through with them, and then I cover myself by talking to eBay and PayPal to let them aware of the situation, so it's not a one-sided story from the customer about how I'm not doing my part as the seller. Same thing with the negative feedback. A customer was being very impatient after they did not measure their pool. The item was a pool cover. They didn't measure their pool at all. So I spoke with eBay about this, and the customer was threatening me over $26.99. And eBay worked it out in my favor. Once the item was shipped back to the supplier, the negative feedback was removed and the buyer was blocked immediately to prevent further damages to my business. The estimated date sometimes on eBay is based on your location from the distance of where your customer is located, which gives them a false, but as always, some people don't always read the fine print, and it says estimated delivery right underneath, this will arrive by this date. So they're upset with you, but you have absolutely no control over that. You can set your shipping time up to 1 to 10 days, but according to the estimated delivery date, it will say this item will arrive in 3 days. But you don't have control over the supplier, and even if you process it the same day, you have no guarantee of the exact date until you get the information from the supplier. So it's just little things like that. For instance, one of my major problems was the first person who ordered an item from me. This person was very terrible at communication. They gave me the wrong address for their item to be delivered to. So it was 3 days in a row in contact with FedEx, attempting to deliver this product to the right address, as well as constantly attempting to reach out to the customer to know where exactly they lived, because they literally lived in the middle of nowhere and their house was nowhere near the mailbox for the item to be delivered. So after 3 days passed, item was delivered successfully. Customer left no positive feedback, but I left her positive feedback. Then as soon as I was out of what we call PayPal jail, which is the grace period to see if you are going to do what you're supposed to do as a good seller and you're not someone trying to scam people on eBay, the same customer decided to open up a credit card dispute claiming that she never purchased this item. I thought it was hilarious. I said, okay, so after all this drama with this sale being my first sale, you decide 3 months later, after you are no longer able to open a case on eBay, to open a case against me, which messed up the business for 3 days. But I stayed on PayPal's case. I stayed on eBay. eBay vouched for me that it was a legit transaction. And then I pleaded my case on PayPal with screenshots and a very long essay saying, this is why we have so many problems on eBay. We're supposed to be a community, helping one another. And there's people who always get away with doing things that are very sneaky, because she reported the case at 12:35 a.m. in the morning, which was very peculiar. I was like, who does that? But it won in my favor, so I didn't have to wait 81 days for the case to be taken care of. Sometimes you just have to be on top of these problems. Problems are going to come left and right. When you're building up, and this is just anything in life, when you're going up, building up in your life, life is going to come and challenge you. It's going to hit you left and right. You got to bob and weave, because problems are going to be there. But the problems will help you become more successful, because you can't avoid problems in your life. If you're going to avoid problems, you're not going to develop and grow past the current level you're on. So by dealing with these fearful situations early for me, it actually helped me to be more calm and also deal better when it came to customer issues, as well as talking with eBay and PayPal. I still don't like talking on the phone to anyone, but it's much easier dealing with customer service now that I know how it's going to go, and PayPal, eBay is not trying to hurt me or always side with the buyer because they assume things are going on when they're really not going on. But it's perfectly okay. Just call them up, tell them what's going on so they know from your side, because you can't always tell the customer everything about what you're doing, because some customers will actually ask you, where do you live, which is very scary. According to eBay, you are not supposed to give out your address, no matter how much they harass you. Because I've been harassed. Same person, the pool cover, they sent me 8 messages in one day. I want my money back. I shall fight you to the end for my money. I don't care what it takes. I shall have my money back. Tell eBay, like, dude, I only make $5 off this item, and they're fighting me over $26.99, saying they need their money. If you need your money, why are you shopping on eBay? You must have something wrong with your priorities. But that's just my personal opinion of dealing with these issues that occur. It's minor issues. Phone calls are magic. I truly understand now why it's being stressed so much that your phone is your weapon. Emails are okay, but there's nothing like talking to a live person. Because with the email, they don't know who you are, they don't know what you sound like, and there's literally a box full of emails. So there's no telling when they will get back to you, if the robot's going to do it. I don't like the robots answering my messages. So the robots, in my opinion, are terrible. Because with the robots, what they're doing with the robots, They take the words that are written in your email, sort through them, and just give you pre-automated responses on what they think your issue is. Sometimes they don't have your issue listed. You're always either in between or slightly off. You could be wanting a refund or to fix a problem with the order and they only have cancel order and refund. But you want a little bit of the both or a partial refund. There's things like that, but just keep working at what you're doing and you'll be okay.
Good stuff, Christina. I mean, and a lot of people may be thinking to themselves tonight, because this is very different than what most people do, right? We're talking about things that scare us, problems that we've had, things that are, that really like gave us like, pits in our stomachs about doing this business, and hype marketers don't talk about that stuff. Okay, here's this guy over here. Hey, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Come do this product. You'll have no problems. This is like it really push the button. It's so easy. I mean, this is pretty easy. But we're talking about the problems here because listen, in any business, we're just going to tell you the truth. You will have some issues once in a while, but they are very few and far between. eBay and PayPal are great when you get on the phone with them. They are on your side you're on top, and it's not hard to stay on top of it. You have tracking with everything, and you have all your emails from your orders, you have all your emails from your communications, and I mean it's very easy to prove things out. And the phone is magic, yes. You can get things usually fixed very, very quickly. 9 times out of 10, it's easy to get problems fixed. I mean. So we're talking about that stuff tonight because these are things that scared all of us in the beginning. It's like, oh, is this going to be headache after headache? Is this business just going to drive me crazy because it's like nonstop stress? No, it's not. Here, Christina said that was a one-problem order, and it was 3 months later that the customer, was doing the, making the case with the credit card and things like that. Those things don't happen every day. They're very few and far between. Will it happen? Yes, but that's kind of like you got to get your badge, and then you can say, hey man, I made it past that, and oh my gosh, it really wasn't that bad. And for these 100 awesome orders that I had, one had an issue. Or if I had for all these 200 awesome orders that I had, there was one issue. I mean, that's really how often the problems happen. It's so we're talking about this stuff because we want you to know that the pros definitely outweigh the cons. I'm going to have everybody come back out just real quick and talk and just say, and I'm going to ask them, do the pros outweigh the cons? And they're going to tell you, and then we're going to kind of jump off this because we have an awesome corporate webinar tonight, and I'm just going to just to tease you a little bit for a couple minutes. It's at 9 o'clock Eastern, 20 minutes. So we'll be jumping on that, and INFINii is launching a brand new digital product, which is called Signal Forge, which is going to have automated trading, automated signal trading. I am super excited about this. The company's been working on this for a couple of years. They have been through one iteration. And they told us what they were going to do to get this automated trading done. They have worked with the SEC. They have got all the government agencies signing off on it. They have done the testing and back testing. A lot of work and research has gone into this. Guys, I'm super, 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 super stoked about this. I mean, I can barely contain myself, and it starts in 20 minutes. But I'm going to let the ladies finish it out here with are there more pros than cons to INFINii and our INFINii dropship business? And Lucia, you go ahead and start it, and we'll just talk about that. Are there more pros than cons?
There are definitely more pros than cons. I love what I do. I was skeptical, and my husband dragged me in, and I couldn't be happier that we are doing this. I get to work 1 day a week to keep my feet wet into my current business, but I get to spend every day at home with my kids now. So, this is a great company. It's a great opportunity. It's a great business, and I'll take that one pain in the hiney customer every 100 or 200 sales to be able to do that. So if you're was on the fence, get off the fence. Come join us. Click that yellow button and sign up.
And we'll help you solve those problems too. We'll help you out. All you have to do is post in the Top Team group. Georgia, are there more pros than cons?
There absolutely are more pros than cons. And the things that they just keep making it better and better and better. When I joined, all of the listings had to be done manually. And I got into doing it manually, and I learned how to do it, and I learned how to be really good at it, but it took some time. But now, as a new person joining, and I'm hoping that some of my new people are on this Hangout tonight, when you get ready to do list, you have to list your first item manually just to set your account up. After that, you have an automatic listing creator that has templates in it where all you got to do is just fill in the blanks, and your listing is made for you through INFINii, and they just launched a tracking system that I absolutely love, and I've been saying that it's saving me from myself, because all you have to do is put in the parameters, what percentage you want to make, and so forth, and then you plug in the numbers. It tells you what you need to be selling it for if that's what you want to make, and on top of that, it ties it to your, right now I'm doing eBay, it ties it to your eBay account so that if the price changes, if it goes up or down, it changes your price on your eBay listing up or down. If it goes out of stock, it shows that you don't have any stock so nobody can try to order it, and you get an email every time that happens. And I am so, so excited about that, because now I don't have to worry about if something goes out of stock and I go to order it and I didn't notice that it was out of stock, because when you have so many listings, and I have upward of 270 listings, you can't possibly check every listing every day by the source to see if it's still in stock. Well, so you take your chances that it is. Okay, you get an order, you go to order it, and it says out of stock. It's like, uh-oh, can I find this somewhere else? And usually I can, but sometimes you can, and then we have scripts to tell you how to handle it type situation. But now you don't have to, because INFINii has an automatic listing creator along with an automatic tracking system. So yes, it's just getting easier and easier, and if you're just coming in, it's going to be super simple. We're here to answer any questions for you. Top Team has additional training and support, so if you're ready, we're ready to help you.
Awesome. Yeah, I got so excited. I forgot I was just focusing on the auto tracking out. I always forget to mention it for especially for some of the new people on here. Yeah, you don't have to create a listing manually anymore. You just pick out what you want to list on eBay. You get a link for it. You plug it into the automatic listing creator or the advanced listing creator. Fill out a few different specs. Pick out your title. Bam! It like puts it all together for you. Pictures, pulls in descriptions, pulls in all this stuff for you. Easy peasy. I mean, we've got so many excellent tools at our disposal now, just like Georgia said, and it's just getting easier and easier and easier every day. Christina, more pros than cons?
For sure, definitely more pros than cons. It's especially when it comes to the ALC tool, and now that the tracking is there, it just makes things so much easier. I started off doing manual. I told myself I'm not using the ALC tool until I listed 100 things manually. Finally did it, treated myself to the ALC tool. It's definitely faster than manually listing. And the uploads, so I can knock out 10 to 20 items quicker than the manual listing, because I don't have to save all the photos. I don't have to look for the information. It's all right there for me. And plus, in addition to the information that's constantly coming in every single week, it makes my life that much easier. So if I have a question or I'm just unaware because I'm not paying attention to the news for the week, I can go into my back office and there's something new for me to look at.
Amen. Thank you, ladies. And I know for me personally, the pros is the money coming in. That definitely outweighs the one or two little problems that come along. The pros pay my bills. They definitely do. Guys, it's awesome. It really is awesome. It's really not hard once you get the hang of it. Problems do arise, but you got a team around you that will help you with it. All you have to do is post it in a Top Team Facebook group, and people will come to your aid if you don't see it in the training, how to address the issue. I mean, we're here to help you. We're here to help you sort out those things. You're not alone. We will not leave you in this alone. I promise you. I mean, when you post in the group, there's always people in there that are ready and helping you and trying to keep you safe and sometimes you feel like if I do this, is it going to mess things up? I'm going to screw up my EV. I mean, just ask us. We'll help you out. We're that's what we're there for. That's what the Top Team is. We're here to help you be successful, and we say bring on the problems because we have lots of pros paying our bills and it's awesome. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. If you are really excited to get going and you are thinking, you know what, those problems aren't so big after all. Those are small problems. I could deal with that, and I got some awesome people to work with. There's a yellow button down here below this video on this Hangout page, and you can go ahead and click that, and you can go ahead and get started. The person who sent you that link, they knew how to get it to you. They thought you were important enough to share the link with and get you here to hear a little bit more information. Don't sit on the fence. Waffling doesn't get you anywhere. You're going to stay in the same spot if you stay on the fence. So go ahead, get ready to experience more pros than cons. Let us help you out with the little hiccups that do arise, and lock arms with us. We're excited to have you on board. Thank you for everyone for coming out tonight, showing up, being here, listening. And if you do have any other questions, if you come up, maybe you're viewing this late. I know some of you will be watching this on replay. You can go ahead and post in comments. We all get notified, and we'll come back and answer the questions for you. So feel free to put them in the comments. So we'll still get notified, and we'll still follow up. So great having everybody here tonight. We are going to go run and skedaddle and jump on that awesome Hangout tonight, and we'll be updating you about that next week, I promise you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We are over and out. See you next week.